calls for the 25th Amendment to be invoked are growing because Donald Trump is showing more and more signs that something is up with his brain, and it's not good. He could not remember a reporter's name. He didn't even know who she was, and he had just spoken to her days ago. I have that coming up for you. Donald Trump also confused Qatar and Iran, and we have him hypothesizing about dying. It's very strange. It's all very strange. Real quick, but before we get to that, if you could please hit like on this video and subscribe. We're almost at 1 million subscribers. It's free. It's going to help us get there quicker. Now let's get to this. Let's start with this. This is how his day started. Donald Trump doesn't know how to use an umbrella anymore. Does this make you proud to be an American? You can see here, he tries to close the umbrella. Unable to do it, he lets it go and just hands it off to an aide who then knows how to use one because he's not an idiot, but he's not losing his mind. Now, Donald Trump also earlier yesterday posted this on his, I'm calling it his blog from now on. It's not his social media company. It's his blog, Lie Social. And he said this, I can't get it all into the screen and everything. Let me try, that's good enough. Okay, it says, the Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. If this is so, which it is, a lot of very good people will be owed big apologies. What a scam, do something, President DJT. All right, does anyone notice what's wrong with that statement? Donald Trump forgets who was president on January 6th because I don't know how this sort of thing works, but I'm pretty sure the president who was just elected doesn't control the FBI until after they're sworn in, which is on January 21st. Donald Trump was the president on January 6th, 2021, not Joe Biden. How could Joe Biden's FBI have placed anything in January 6th if Joe Biden's not the president? It's Trump's FBI. It's just the beginning, too. There's more. Here is more. Now, Donald Trump had this interaction with Dasha Burns from Politico, and then I have the follow-up.
You do that better than anybody, McGee.
For war terrorists on China, are you considering walking that back?
Who are you with?
Politico, Dasha Burns, sir.
Dasha Politico. Politico's gone bad. They've been so wrong about everything. Politico has been so wrong about everything. Let's get somebody else to ask some questions. You mind? Is that all right? This Politico is fake news.
Do you plan on meeting with Xi now when you go to...
And then Dasha Burns followed up by saying this.
Thank you very much. Tell them to be honest and not honest.
Hey, sir, talk to Caroline. She'll vouch for him.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, President.
Thank you.
All right. And so that sounded like he doesn't know who Dasha Burns is. One problem is Dasha Burns says she talked to Trump on the phone just 4 days ago. Here it is new. I just got off the phone with President Trump. What he said about how he's feeling between Israel and Hamas. So he doesn't know who she is today, but had no problem talking to her 4 days ago. There's definitely something going on. And Donald Trump also could not remember that Qatar and Iran do not share a land border.
Right in the middle of everything. Other countries are there, but they're an hour and a half away. A big difference. They're literally, you walk over from Iran to Qatar. You can walk it in 1 second. You go boom, boom, and now you're in Qatar. That's tough territory. I think Qatar was amazing the way they helped us.
Again, another problem here. Qatar and Iran do not share a land border. So the President of the United States, his brain is cooked. His brain is cooked. Mehdi Hasan said simply, 25th Amendment? Yeah. I think in any other normal time, this should be a thing we would actually talk about seriously. Well, I'm talking about seriously, but I think it would become part of the narrative. Right now, we're talking about it here on YouTube. I'm glad we're talking about it, but there's clearly something wrong with the president, and everyone else is acting like this is totally normal. It's not. This is not normal. Donald Trump also was asked if he thinks he's going to go to heaven.
Go ahead.
You had talked a couple weeks ago, you were doing an interview, and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven, but I'm
just going to say on my Instagram, I'll link it below. There is lots of evidence that Donald Trump may be the Antichrist. Now, I don't believe in all that, but the folks who do vote for Trump. And if they believe that, they should really look at the evidence as it pertains to Trump and what the Bible says the Antichrist is. I think it's really interesting. Donald Trump admits he's not going to heaven. I don't even think hell would accept him, to be completely honest. Regardless, it is the one time that Donald Trump, I feel like, was lucid, that he knew that that's not happening. Now, Donald Trump also, this is something that I have not talked about since the story came out, or since it's been confirmed, I guess. But we did talk about on the channel 3 weeks ago that Donald Trump accidentally posted a message that was meant to be to Pam Bondi privately, but he posted it on his blog, True Social, and it's going to ruin the entire case between Tish James, between James Comey, because it shows that there's obvious direction from the President of the United States. Now, let me just show you this text first. This is what the text looked like. It said Pam, : That was very strange when we first saw it. A lot of people were like, Keith, you can't say that it's text message that leaked. I was like, yeah, I can. And I did. And I'm glad I did, because that's exactly what it was. Pam, I reviewed over 30 segments, blah, 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 blah. And it goes on to say that justice must be served now and whatever. Okay, so this is obviously, it says Pam : that this is something that was meant to be directed towards her. Now we have that confirmation. Trump was surprised to learn he had actually posted the message to his True Social blog, the source said, adding that the president reacted by saying, oh, and then tried to shrug it off. The following message was something that said that Pam Bondi was doing a great job, so he tried cleaning it up. Now, the Wall Street Journal first reported that, and as NBC shows here, this could really put a screw into the indictment, the wrongful indictment of James Comey and Tish James.
President Trump, he posted a message on social media directed at the U.S. Attorney General, Pam Bondi. You see it there. This was last month. It started with Pam, and then he urged her to prosecute Letitia James, the woman we're talking about, former FBI Director James Comey, who has been charged, and California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff. An administration official now tells NBC News the president meant to send that message as a text message, but accidentally put it out there in public online. Could that revelation affect this case against Letitia James?
Well, I think it actually is more damaging for the administration. And when it comes to the arguments that she could potentially raise for vindictive and selective prosecution, we found out about it because it was accidentally posted online, but it was happening behind the scenes. That might open the door to get more information about what other communications were going on.
So clearly we know there's something up with Donald Trump. By the way, Donald Trump was just in the hospital in Walter Reed, apparently to get shots. That's why they say he went to Walter Reed. We know that they can do that at the White House. They're also saying that he had advanced imaging done. I wonder what that was. So we are going to keep watching this. We're going to keep following it. If you want to follow along, do please hit like, do hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.